Hello everybody, happy Friday, happy Fishy Business Day. That was right, I think I got that right. I'm probably muted myself, that's why I've got it wrong. No! Hopefully you can hear me and see me in all my very bright glory. What's going on? Why are there already 30 odd people in here? Has someone spread a vicious rumour about me or something? Welcome everyone, hope you are doing well, hope you can hear me. I'm a bit out of breath because I've just realised at the last moment I didn't actually have a glass. And we all know I only do this to have a drink. But starting off with a Duff beer. Hope you're all enjoying a tasty beverage and or snack this evening. I'm kicking things off Homer Simpson style with a Duff beer. Which doesn't meet any of my criteria, but you know, I just thought best to have one of them. I have had one before, but you know. You're bored! You're here for the entertainment? Well, I will take anything I can get. Hello all you bored people, welcome. Let me start by entertaining you thusly. I found a new toy where I can do things like pretend to cry. I'm actually smiling. It looks like I'm really crying. I'm not this upset at all. I'm actually really, really happy. It's the weekend. I don't know why my face looks like that. Or I can press this button. What does this do? Oh, that's an interesting look. I don't know whether we can last the whole of what happens if I put a beer in front of my face. Oh, that goes okay. I don't know if I can last the whole stream with this, but you know. We'll see. Oh, I like that one. Cheers, everyone. This one I'm not so keen on because it seems to... This is meant to be me as a baby. What has happened to this poor genetically engineered baby? Then if I slide myself... This is me as an old man. It looks exactly like I do at the moment. That's not fair. Old man, young man. Old man, young man. Now I'm not entirely sure how to get off this. It could be like that. What's... There, is that normal? Okay, I think we're okay. So, we can have some of that if things work out okay. Who have we got here? I look badly dubbed. Am I a bit behind? Oh no. I wonder if this works. No, that just makes me go away. Is it terrible? Anyway, there was like 300 comments before I even started tonight. So, I'm going to do something. What was I going to do? I was going to do a bit of an explainer. Because tonight's quiz is going to be slightly different. As always, well, as for the last few weeks, we're going to start the quiz in about 25 minutes or so. Because it seems to not crash when we do that. But we are doing dingbats as the specialist subject tonight, which let me just show you one. A dingbat is basically a say what you see, and they can be more or less cryptic, depending what you do. So, for instance, that is a dingbat. Can anyone figure out what that means? We'll take answers in the chat. I'm normal back. I'm fine. Good. Thank you. Fishfet, good evening. Murder Doodle's back. Nice to see you. Zen Ginger, Dave the Diver. I did get your email. I will have a look for said power supply. but I didn't know that I didn't send you it, so I apologise for that. Scrambled eggs. We have a winner. So there, it's eggs, and they're scrambled. Duh. Oh, where am I? I'm missing. I need to add myself into this scene. Bear with me. Callers, viewers, whatever you are. Add existing. Ooh, that's big. I'll put myself up in the corner. Somewhat like that. What do you think of the backdrop, by the way? Big face. I kind of sneaked this in with the last video that obviously I have now redone this tank as a discus tank. They're all a bit upset with me because they were asleep and then I came down 10 minutes ago and turned the lights on. They were like, what the hell? But I cannot get a balance between, this is like 3% light, so you can see it. But if I turn the lights up any more, this is kind of where I would normally have it. The camera just, oh, that's not too bad. I was going to say, the camera just blows it out. Well, it does down here. I can't find a happy balance. And I also can't get the GoPro to work. So for instance, if I switch to the GoPro, I just get that screen. So, you know, in 3 or 4 months we'll probably get our act together and get this all sorted. So anyway, I was trying to say that the specialist subject for tonight is dingbats. Let's do another dingbat just to give you the idea. Can you tell what that is? Answers in the chat from anyone but Juggler, because this is his. Just while I use this opportunity to resize my screen for the quiz. What do you think? Play with the ISO knob. I could do, but the ISO knob is on the camera. It's facing me, so I can't play with it in real time. I need to... Oh, close, Lisa, close. Silver Creek gets it. It's a mixed bag. Yeah. There you go. So, I ran some of my dingbats that I found or made past Missy's Aquarium Adventures earlier. And we almost had a falling out. She was like, they're not dingbats, they're rubbish. So, you know, you're going to get a mixed bag tonight when we get there, because some of them are easier than others, but with mine you get 4 options, so I think that's a little bit easier because one of those options is correct. But I have spent most of my day looking at dingbats. It's been quite the fun afternoon. I wouldn't get any of them if I didn't already know the answers. I am terrible at this, just like everyone else. But we'll see how we get on. I did talk about, if anyone has seen my last video, it was all about the Fluval Bio CO2 Pro that I've had early access to. I'm thinking of making that the prize for February, or maybe March, because I think I want to keep it for a month and use a month's worth of CO2 to see whether or not it does last a month and give a bit of a longer term review and then give it away. Oh, that was my plan anyway, so Juggler, do you want one? But I dropped it today, so I don't know if you'll still want it with a big dent in the bottom. We'll see. Mixed bag, yes, well done. Well, have we got a funky person in the house? We have. Who hates these games. Fair enough. I think we're going to abandon all hope for me keeping up with the chat, so I'm going to be a bit random just going through it, so feel free to, you know, if you've said something hilariously funny and I keep missing it, it's not me, it's you. No, that's not right. That's rude. I'm not doing it on purpose, is what I'm trying to say. So feel free to repeat your comments or questions. Hopefully some of my mod team will say hello, because their names show up a bit brighter than everyone else's, and point me that I've missed something. Still trying to work out the first one. Hey, some of them are good, some of them are very cryptic. But if you're in the Discord server, I put a couple of examples down there as well. So, in fact, I'll show you this one, because this is what my wife said. That doesn't count. That's rubbish. Can anyone figure that one out? This is quite difficult, I think. You can substitute Mediterranean for North, or Baltic, or something like that. Duff beer isn't horrible, but isn't nice, for any of those who are wondering. So, 007 Mediterranean. What do you think? What could that be? I did get some enjoyment out of this week's topic. Bond C. Okay, Murder Doodle's half right. What's Bond? Agency. Kind of along the right lines. There's a wee clue from Juggler. It's food and drink related. That would be the topic if this was a guess. Agency. No. Agency's good, but no. What is 007? What is Bond? That's what you have to think. So anyway, this week I have mostly been testing my CO2 kits. This tank, I mean, I totally found my calling as a YouTuber, because that video was complete lies. I've now hooked up this tank with my proper CO2 and got everything out and hooked it up. Got the... Oh, what's that fish doing? Got the solenoids out, so it's all on the timer and everything. Had a small fire when I blew up my Felix Smart and everything that was plugged in here. Cut the power in the fish room. It's quite exciting few days I've had. So fixed all that. Spicy. You burnt the first one though. Thanks, Fishkeeper. Yes, Spicy. Spy. C. 007 was a spy. Mediterranean is a C. Spicy. Spicy. There should be a groan button. We'll have to make do with that one. That was the wrong button. So, they're not all as hard as that one. But yes, spicy. I'm kind of looking for... I want to play the quiz now. But yes, we've got this hooked up to proper CO2, as in my pressurised canister, with the solenoids. So it's time to come on, half an hour before the lights come on, and half an hour before the lights go off. It should go off. That seems to be working. I've actually put my rainbow fish tank down here, has now got the fluval CO2 on it, and has been running it for the last few days. And it's fine. I don't know if I've got a pre-production model or something like that, because I had to swap out the... I mean, it's just lucky that I had these things. So I had a few of these, which are the bubble counters. Come on, camera. Why am I so bright? Yeah, I look so red when I come back here. Anyway, bubble counter. I just happen to have a couple of these that I bought many moons ago, and it's fairly generic. All the threads and fittings are all the same. They all fit. But if I try and put that on, the Fluval one, if I put it on too low a setting, the bubbles just stop and it seems to just catch. So I've not quite found the right layer. So next week's task is me going to try to retrofit a solenoid valve on it, so I can control the timer and have it a little bit more full force during the day, so as I can switch it off at night automatically without me having to remember, because I will inevitably forget and kill everything in the tank. So I want a solenoid on a timer so as it will without fail switch the CO2 off, and then I think it's a really good thing. I have tried the DIY CO2 in the past, and it's been fine, but it is a bunch of old ratty looking pop bottles, whereas that's just a nice brushed stainless steel case with all proper valves and things, fine control. It should work better. And I'm just a bit disappointed that whether it was me knackering it up when I was putting it together, or something just wasn't right. Something wasn't quite right. but I'm enjoying it. Now it has a dent in it, so it doesn't look as good, but you know, everyone have a go. Good morning from Australia. Good morning, Paul. Sorry for the accent. I take that back. I don't have the brains for this. So, if you are planning on playing the quiz in about 10 minutes, don't worry. Brains are not a requirement because it is still multiple choice. So, if you really don't know, you can just go for it. Let me just move that across and do some quiz prep. Why won't that work? Oh, you douche. You gigantic thunder. Sorry. Things aren't working. So yes, for those of you who are new, and it sounds like there are a few new people here, the quiz operates thusly. You get questions are awarded points for answering them correctly. The faster you answer them correctly, the more points you get. So if you can quickly read the question and decide you don't have a Scooby-Doo, what's going on, just guess. You might be lucky and you might get a bunch of points. If you think you might know, then spend a little bit more time. Some questions nobody gets right. I try and trick you in a few questions. I try and do some wordy questions and some not so wordy questions, so everyone gets a bit of a chance. Right, I am getting a bit of a reputation for the toughest quiz in fish world. I apologise. I don't mean for it to be a tough quiz. There are some fishy questions, there are some non-fishy questions. Right, let me put up the link so people can get in and get ready. We are on stream 149 tonight. That means, well, that's nearly 3 years. Let me just double check. I've got 20 questions, 30 seconds per question. Save that. Host that. Right, and we're ready to go. But while we do that, have we got any questions before we dive into the quiz? You've got Fish Fam link here already. I was wondering what you were all talking about. I was trying to get the Discord link and missed the question, so Discord, blah blah blah. There you go. Yeah, join the Discord. Zeddy for Prez. Well, you know, we do have an opening for Chief Moderator. I think Scott's been filling in adequately as Chief Mod for best part of the last 6 months. Let's just say I've never come away feeling clever after one of your quizzes. Need to do more than 30 seconds for the dingbat. Oh, I wonder if I could do that. I probably could do that. No, I think that suggests a bit of fun. If you get down to the last 5 seconds, just quickly, Gersh. Fish Fam Link has syphilis. Oh, I hope you're feeling better. Whatever that means. John Floydman, nice to see you again. I apologise if I haven't said hello to everyone who's come in, but it was very busy at the start. I joined and I was like the 30th person to join. A question for after. I'm looking to get a print out of one Lowell's fish fry. Looking to get a print out of one of Lowell's fish fry trays. Which 3D printer is recommended? I know you said Ender 3S1, but any other suggestions? Well, I think I've got the Ender 3S something or other, but that's only because that's what I bought at the time. There are many, many more available now, and I really haven't kept up with it. There's lots of... Speed seems to be the thing. Lots of much faster ones these days. All I would say is go for one that has automatic bed leveling. That seems to be a big feature. And then just look at the speeds and the types of filament that it uses. That's probably as much as I can get in terms of recommendations for 3D printers. I've not really been keeping up with them. There are certain filaments do better underwater, for instance, so if it's going to be something that gets wet all the time, I can't quite remember what they are. But I've used my 3D printer for all sorts of stuff. There's one there, for instance. That is an overflow guard that I've been using in, I think this is from Megatank. Seems a bit small, maybe it's not, I can't remember. But yeah, that's lasted a year, no problemo. 60 watching, wow. Hello everybody. Oh, we've upset something. No, they've come back. 62 now, and only 28 likes. That's like only the one requirement is just to give a goddamn like. That's all you have to say. Oh, I haven't actually posted the link yet, have I? Bear with. I'm a professional. Random question order. Allow late joining. Host now, and I believe. Ooh, that's loud. I believe the fish is up for grabs tonight. Rebecca is not here or coming. So if you get assigned the fish, you can keep it. And the link, if you want to play, is... You find out the bit where I have to post it. Here. Go! While you do that, I'll strip off. Not like that, it's hot in here. Let me just see if I can get the GoPro working. Oh, Murder Diddle's got the fish. It's not that useful. I don't think Rebecca's ever won. Well, maybe she has once. No, it's not working. "61 viewers, 34 participants." What does that mean? 34 people who have said a thing. God, if you're one of the lurkers, why don't you say hello? Join in the quiz. There are prizes to be given away. Broken prizes to be given away, but nevertheless, still prizes. Oh, she did. You're quite right. She won a light at Christmas. This is the best quiz in Fish Fam world. I'm only saying that because Andrew's here and he's not got a chance to retort tomorrow. Well, Duff Beer done. Beer number 2, we're going with Luminous Nights, a New England double IPA from Lidl. How do you play and watch on the same device? Oh, maybe you just need to make a choice, Skiller. You either play or watch or both or neither. I mean, most modern phones and stuff you can do split screen, can't you? Or you have me on the telly and play the game on the phone, or vice versa. Or laptop, or I don't know. Never be a barman, but oh, look how not see-through that is. It's quite nice. I will now show you how I feel about this drink through the medium of... I don't know if I got a smiley one. What does this one do? Oh, I'm being electrocuted. I think I'll go back to this one. This makes me feel fabulous. I think that shade of lipstick works for me. think this is the most disconcerting one, though. What do these other ones do? What does this do? Ooh, devil horns. You can tell I'm just a big child. Let's just make me even more red. Oh, I've been kicked out. Oh no. Have I done too much with the messing about? Oh no, we've been kicked out. Oh, sorry everyone, we're going to have to do it again. That's not happened for a few weeks. Little face, copy link. So sorry everybody. And I've not copied the link properly, sorry. There you go, so that's second one. I'll give you a couple of minutes to join again, and then we'll get straight back into it. The game crashed, I'm sorry everybody. Right, we'll leave this screen up, so... Oh, Zenny straight in there. Goldfish stealer. It's not working again for you. Remember, if you played last week, use the same name. Because we count up your prizes for the month. Your points for the month to determine the prizes. This is yummy. Luminous Nights. Can recommend. You managed to get in, Nabo. Shadow. Yep, I can see Shadow. You seem to be good to go. 31 players. You don't send prizes outside of your country. Yes. Yes, I do. So, I'm sure we've had a few American winners before where I tend to send different prizes. So, if it's a physical thing, for instance, I'm saying this month I'll give away the Fluval CO2 kit. If you live in Australia, I will not give away the Fluval CO2 kit. If you live in Bedford, yes, I will post it there. If you live in Australia, America, Canada, wherever, you might get vouchers or some merch or something that's easy to ship international. But yes, everyone play. Everyone gets a chance. Right, are we ready to go? We are at 21:31. Oh, hold on. Tommy keeps getting booted. 33, we'll give it a few more seconds. 34, was that Tommy? Who knows? I can't tell. Good luck, everybody. Let's go. Dingbat straight away. What is this dingbat? I think that sounds very clever. And meets the requirements of an actual dingbat. So it's a P inside a G and a P on top of a G. It's P in G and P on G. If you were to spell that out, you might get P in G, P on G. Ping pong! See? You get it? You get it? Dave the Diver straight away. Well done. Ooh, there's an owl outside. The UN Health Agency is known by what acronym? Why, what, when, where, who? Who, won? Who, what, where, when, why? That's 5. I only put 4. Why, when, what, who? There are even some fishy questions this week. I shall point them out to you because they might be tenuous fishy questions. It's WHO, the World Health Organization, of course. Timbo. Oh, loads of people under 3 seconds with that one. That was fast. Shadows in the lead. Quick, clip that. Sorry, I didn't mean that sounded nastier than it needed to. Pancake Day is always how many days before Easter? So if you take a second to think about this, it's easy to work out. Because Pancake Day is always a Tuesday, and Easter's always a Sunday. So mathematically, it can only be 47. Because the rest are all divisible by 7, which would make Easter a Tuesday. Is this one going to be a dingbat? I went a bit dingbat heavy this week. What is this dingbat? I thought this was quite an easy one. Surely this is an easy one. Pancake Day sounds good. You don't have Pancake Day. Surely Pancake Day is a worldwide phenomenon. You've never heard of Pancake Day? This is a revelation. I thought this was worldwide. It is, of course, American Pie. Pancake Day is very much a thing. Shrove Tuesday, as it's more commonly known. We're going to have to touch on this afterwards. I was not aware everyone didn't have Pancake Day. Which UK record-breaking fish, weighing in at 47 pounds 5 ounces, was caught this week? Was it a pike, a perch, a carp, common or mirror? You don't do Pancake Day in Canada? It was a pike. You really just have to look at the BBC News website if you want to get a leg up on the quiz. What's this dingbat? Nah, fish. What can you see there? Looks like there's 2 nas and a fish. 2 na fish. Tuna fish. I think this counts as a dingbat. My wife disagrees. You don't even have crepe day. Well, every day without Pancake Day is a crepe day. Of course it's tuna fish. It Me, closely followed by Murder Doodle Silver, up in 3rd place. Which of the following is not an accepted meaning for the word dingbat? A nocturnal flying rodent, a silly or vacant person, a decorative printed character, or a house style? So one of them isn't a dingbat. Which one isn't a dingbat? It is, of course, a nocturnal flying rodent, because all the others are dingbats. A dingbat in a house style is like a boxy house on stilts, apparently. Popular in Florida, I'm told. I read. Nobody told me. What's this dingbat? Mummy's boy? Maximum? Mother Superior? Or Big Mama's house? I feel quite evil about this one. Because I think Mother Superior fits that quite well, but it's not. Maximum. Oh, thank you 11 people for agreeing with me on that one. Everyone who chose Mother Superior, sorry, because that kind of fitted as well. Oh, Betta's got one. Maxi Mum. It was the big mother. It fitted in the box. The maximum space took up by Mother Maxi Mum. Who won the Super Bowl? Was it the Kansas City Chiefs, the San Francisco 49ers, Taylor Swift, or Manchester City? I stayed up to watch the Super Bowl, directed by one of my friends in the UK, if you watched it. Fell asleep within 5 minutes. It was the Kansas City Chiefs. See, I'm trying to play to my international audience with this. If a bottle of wine holds 6 litres, what's it called? Is it a Magnum? A Balthazar? A Solomon? Or a Methuselah? These are all names of bottles of wine in different sizes. A Magnum is 1.5 litres of wine, I believe. I'm saying this because you've probably already answered by this point. A Balthazar and a Solomon are like 18 litres or 20 litres, something like that. A Methuselah is 6 litres of wine. Wine, of course, is a liquid. Liquid is what fish swim in. Therefore, that's a fishy question. I'll give you tenuous. How many innings does a standard game of baseball have? Yeah, spelling, this was done in a rush. Sorry, everyone. If you join Aquarium Daily's quiz, spelling counts. Here, not so much. There are 9, apparently. Top of the 9th, all that kind of stuff. Who knew? Stupid game. What is the name of the text-to-video AI tool demoed by OpenAI this week? Which is scary. If anyone's interested in that kind of stuff, I would suggest going and watching the Marquez Brownlee MKBH, that video about this, because it shows how far it's come on in the last year. It's ridiculous. It's called Sora. Silly rounders. See, the Americans don't know about rounders. They don't know that they're actually copying a small child's game. According to Billy Ocean's song, what does red light spell? I'm not going to sing it. But does red light spell toxic or danger or laughter or love? It's one of those. It's not okay to put wine in your fish tank. I was just drawing the parallels between wine being a liquid. It of course spells danger. Well done, JDT. Pelagius, number 1, closely followed by Murder Doodle, and it was too fast for me to saw who was number 3. What term describes a gap between substrate and aquarium base, often part of a filtration system? Is it a sink, a plenum, a plunge, or a matin? Maybe one week we'll have like the winning score will be 5% or something like that. It's a plenum. I can't move for plenum talk this week. Everywhere I turn, there's somebody moaning about a plenum, arguing about a plenum. I don't think I've ever heard of a plenum until a couple of weeks back. EE claimed to the UK's number 1 phone network, but what does EE stand for? Murder Doodle openly admitted Googling the answers. Give him the boot. You can't Google the answers fast enough. You're welcome to Google the answers, because unless you're some kind of mad fast typist, I don't think it would help you. It stands for Everything Everywhere. 69. Question 16. What's this dingbat? I'm hoping for 100% correct on this one, everyone. Is it rainbow trout, plenty more fish in the sea, fly fishing, or fake lips? It's the word trout, colourfully emblazoned with a gradient through the rainbow spectrum. Of course, it was rainbow trout. Well done, almost everyone. One point in it at the top. Question 17. What country is this? Toiki, Sweden. England. I don't know how to say Austria in an Austrian accent. Austria. No. Austria. Austria. Who knows? Is it Toiki, Sweden, England, or Austria? It is England. The Brits have an advantage on that question. Well, they do on that question. But let's be fair. You've seen a map. Question 18. What is the most popular Valentine's gift? That's based on data from last year. But is it jewellery, chocolates, perfume, or flipwers? Which is meant to say flowers, but you know, flipwers. P is next to O, to be fair. I was in a rush. Aye, alright. Flippers. Is it flippers? Yeah, it could be flippers. It's not the right answer. It was chocolates. Well done, Team TRM. We are going into the penultimate question. What's this dingbat? Oh, let's not start this again, Evan. England is a country. The UK is also a country. I have a good 10 minutes I can do on this if you really want me to bore you all to tears with this later. Whoa, 100%. People got that right. I know it says 83%. That's because some people joined twice, so you just don't get the thing. But everyone who answered it got it right. And of all of them, JDT28 answered it fastest. How's Better Juggler got to the top already? Final question. What is this dingbat? Is it head chef, cooking for one, too many cooks, or oven ready? Say what you see. Of course, it was cooking for one. Cooking, cook with 4 and 1 on the end. Cooking for one. Are we ready? Oh, quelle surprise! Better Juggler stuck in at the end to take it from JDT and Murder Doodle. Unlucky. So what do we think? 30%? 30%? 62? Take that. 50% my arse. I mean, professional. Hey, 62%. Well done, guys. Whoop whoop. Give yourselves a round of applause with Better Juggler with 80% correct. 80% correct. I don't think we've seen an 80% correct. Wow. 85% correct. Murder Doodle. You must feel well put out. Oh, this is some top scoring from Beta and Murder Doodle. Bladius and JDT with 15 questions, but fast. That's what you want. Team TRM. 15 questions. It me. 13. Still just tackle. Only 14. Timbo, a previous winner, down at 12 with 60% correct. Nabo, J&J. J&J, another past winner, only with 15 correct. But slow. You must have taken your time. And then Shadow with 11. Silver, third try with 12. Zenny down here in 11. Christine with 14. That you should have been a lot higher up with that, Christine. If you see yourselves, give yourself a pat in the back, because I thought that was tough. I had some of those dingbats I had to do myself where I had to think for a while and go, I don't know if I get that. Funky 0 points. Did you just give up? Some people do that. They just throw in the towel and say, nope, I hate everything about this and I'm not going to play anymore. And they switch things off and smash screens. But 62% has to be... That's a high watermark, surely. Anyway, for future me, there's the top 10. The next stop. Getting towards the bottom. Done. I thought that was quite good. 62%. We've not had that in a long time. As Navo says, I remember when 200 was a good score. Then it was 3. Now it's like 5,000. I mean, the top score was... It's getting close to 500. But I think that's because there's more people now. The more people that play, the more points are available, I think. It's getting crazy tough. Well, statistically, it's getting crazy easy because we've never had that high a score before. Is England a part of the UK? Right, we're going to have to do the whole England talk again. So, England is a country, as is Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and they make up the UK, who then are part of Great Britain. Oh no, I've already gone wrong. Then there's the British... there's a picture that explains this. Here we go. This is what we want. So, Great Britain is made up of Scotland, Wales and England. The United Kingdom, which itself is a country, is made up of these 3 countries and that country. So there's 4 countries there. The British Islands is all the ones we've already talked about, as well as the Isle of Man, Guernsey and Jersey. I mean, there's more in there. There's the Isle of Wight and all that kind of stuff, but they're part of, yeah, whatever. And then the British Isles are all of those, plus Ireland. So the Ireland's the only bit that's not part of the UK, for instance. But I hope that answers your question. She was killing me up to the end. TRM. Was that your daughter? Team TRM. You only got one more question right on them. You must have just been a bit faster. That's how to do it, Lisa. Take the positives out of it. 12 correct, my highest in ages. Woo. The luck of the draw, I've pulled the same one again. Luminous lights. Quite like that, so yay me. Beaten by my missus and daughter. I like the fact that we've kind of encouraged some kind of family games night on a Friday evening. I'm happy with that. So I thought that was a good mix of... There were some fishy questions in there. There were some... specialist subject questions. And there were some random current affairs questions. What are we having next week, Juggler? Scott actually started to understand dingbats. June hates it. I'm sorry. No, we can't please everyone. We know that. Oh, look at that. Lanx Fishkeeper says, I think that was my favourite quiz of the year, and I was still mid-table with 65%. Right, see if we can get down a bit further. I'm now going to highlight the comments that I like. That was fun, says Shady Grady. Thank you. It was. Only Oscar said that was not fun. Just to provide a bit of balance there. I don't get geography. I mean, it's tricky. I forget sometimes, and I live here. The one that confuses me is which one is Great Britain and United Kingdom, because Great Britain is the island, United Kingdom's the island plus Ireland, or top of Ireland. But I always get them confused. Tommy liked the dingbats. I mean, if you haven't seen dingbats before, I might throw in a couple extras for some spot prizes for everyone to play along with. Because there was a few I saw earlier that I thought, that's good, but I can't put in... there we go. We can try this one. Right, go on the site, you div. For some kudos, who can get this one first? What's that? I think from now on there will be a dingbat a week thrown in, just like the JCVD questions. Yeah, I quite like a dingbat. Team TRM is Tash, Rebel and Maverick. That's the name of the dogs. The youngest daughter was smashing her iPhone screen trying to get it first. Now that you've made the Flavel thing a bit smaller, it's the same size, it's just a bit irregular. In fact, can I show you it? I don't think it'll reach over here. If we aren't allowed brand logos, then Greek mythology. I think we can have brand logos. You can save Greek mythology from the week after when you win brand logos. Scott gets it first with breakfast. Well done, Scott. Correct. Split in half. Close. I'm going to have to drink more Henrys on a Saturday. Graham's already had 3. Well, I've had 2, and I'm on to the 3rd. But, to be fair, I am Scottish. It's Friday night. I've had a hell of a week at work. I've accumulated 3 extra clients to look after. And if you're watching this and you work with me, you've had to work with me this week, I would just like to say, I apologise. I've been a little bit tetchy this week. People keep sending me things to do, and I'm like, no, fuck off, I'm not doing that. Oh, apologies. Yeah, I've been like, no. I've literally got stuff to do now, rather than just not want to do it because I'm angry. And the rainbows look like they're dominating the tank. Maybe need more discus. I don't have any rainbows in there. Do you mean these ones? These are tetras. So they're 2 types of tetras in this tank. We've got the Congos, which is... So that one, for instance, are Congos. And then... Oh, this is hard to do. That one, and that one, and that one are Alestes tetras. I think the discus are upset because they went to sleep. So, I don't know if you know this, but one of the most... Almost all my kids' friends, when they come down and they see the fish, it's not their first question, but it's always a question is, do fish sleep? Discus very much sleep. So if you come down, if you have a discus tank, you come down in the middle of the night, your discus will be like pretending to be dead, lying in a plant, just like, oh, what? Who? So they were very much doing that when I came down and started the stream 5 minutes before we got live. I switched the lights back on. They were a bit like, oh, for God, oh, no. And I don't think they've recovered. But yeah, the tetras are there for the movement. Discus, they aren't the most active of fish. They're very much going, ha, look at me, I'm beautiful, la-di-da. So... Graham, what character from The Office are you in The Office? Now, are we talking UK Office or American Office? Or just Office? I'm probably this guy. In fact, this... I hope I'm not the Ricky Gervais character. Always American Office, she says. It's one of my favourite shows, The Office, so I think I see a little bit of myself in all of them. I think everyone starts out as the John Krasinski character because they think, no, I'm the one that's normal and it's everyone else that's mental, but then the whole point of The Office is how he finds out he's one of them too. On different days I'm different people. A lot of my time I'm like, God, am I the only person in here that knows how to do anything? Am I the only person that can actually make decisions and do work? Other times I'm like, oh, it's only 11 o'clock. Can I go home yet? Yeah, probably. I'll do that. So, yeah, there's Stanley in me, there's Phyllis in me, there's very little Dwight. As much as I love him. Yeah, maybe a bit of Creed. There's probably a bit of Creed as well. Yes, that's very much so. As Evan says, oh yeah, it's hilarious. Nose in the sand, and then what's happening? Because they get into a routine. I mean, they've only been in here a week and they're already into a routine, but they do get into a routine where they're asleep and they're just like in a plant, in a corner, whatever, pretending to be dead, and then woof, away they go. Hopefully Andrew will have that Pike question on his... He probably will, because he copies all my questions, so he does. Yep, he's noted it. There you go. I'll try and type that quick next time. That's the thing with Andrew's quiz. You have to be fast at typing. It's really frustrating. I don't know if you know this, but every answer I gave last week. So I went to Aquarium Daily does a quiz as well. He does it on a Saturday usually. And I played along last week. I went and joined their live stream. And their quiz is slightly different in that he asks the question live and then you just type the answer in chat. And he penalises you for spelling sometimes. So it's just unfair. But anyway, every time I answered a question, in my chat, I was first. But then when it came up in your chat, I was getting beaten every single time. I was like, oh, that's infuriating. But I guess it's just the way. The computers work. Murder Doodle sees me as a mix of Phyllis, Pam, Stanley, and Andy. I think there is a. I think that's the whole point of The Office, that they are exaggerated versions of every character everyone gets in an office. And most people have got a little bit of everything in them. I didn't know Tongo Tetras. Congo Tetras got that big. Yeah, they're big old Congos. Not as big as the LSTs. I mean, I've only added about half of all the fish because I didn't want to overload the filter, just in case. So I'll probably add in a few more of the Tetras and stuff in the next couple of days and get them all in there. Definitely not a Dwight. As much as I love him. Maybe a David Wallace, yeah, possibly. The exasperated. Oh, why? I don't get it. You've never watched The Office, right? Drop everything. Get on Netflix. Never watched either Office or just the American Office? Surely you've seen the British Office, because it was like played every Christmas for almost as many times as Only Fools and Horses. If you watch the American one, I think you have to give it. My rule of thumb is always give anything 4 episodes, and you definitely have to give the American Office 4 episodes, because the first almost season they tried to copy the British Office and it just didn't work. And it wasn't until they got a few episodes in that it started to do their own thing and it made sense, and it was brilliant. I'm not one of these people that draws a line between, no, that was ours, you can't take that, you're breaking it, you're ruining it. No, they're two different things and they're fantastic. Both fantastic. I took the BuzzFeed quiz and got Kelly Kapoor. Is there a BuzzFeed Office character? Am I? Let's have a look. I fear this may be dangerous. Let's find out. Pick a type of paper. Let's go good old printer paper. Pick a home. I mean, what is it? Aspirational or what? Yeah, I'll go with that one. That looks nice. How will you probably die? I'll never die. One thing in my freezer. Yeah, there's definitely ice cubes in my freezer. What got you in trouble during high school? I definitely argued with teachers. I definitely did a lot of absence. That got me in the biggest trouble. Absence. Pick a condiment. Okay. Some of these aren't real condiments. Apple cider vinegar. What? Not proper mustard. Wasabi sauce. That's quite nice. Soy sauce. I like soy sauce. Pick a career. I don't want to be any of those things. I kind of want to go for writer because I can do that on my own in a darkened room. Pick a desk. I mean, the one that looks most like my desk is probably that one right now because I've got all the empty cans on it. So, who are you worst at what are you worst at dealing with? Don't like rules. Don't care about criticism. It's useful sometimes. Conformity, ridiculous. Stupidity, worst at dealing with it. No, I'm really adept at dealing with stupidity because everyone I deal with is stupid. Rejection, meh. Noise, meh. Defeat, meh. Insecurity, meh. Rudeness, meh. It's going to be rules or conformity. I don't like conforming to something just for the sake of it, so I'm going to go with that. Pick a party theme. Oh, this is very office centric. I like the idea of medieval. My wedding was Vegas themed. No, my wedding was in Vegas. So I'm going to go with that one. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I'm Ryan. Oh, right. Retake. Not happy with that. I'm going for cardstock. That was my second favourite. My perfect home. That's got a gate. My home's got a gate. We're going to go with that one this time. How will I die? Alcohol poisoning. One thing in my freezer. There's some meat. What got you in trouble during high school? Still absence. Pick a condiment. Still like soy sauce. Pick a career. I'm going to go writer. Pick a desk. If not that one, I'd go with that one. What you worst at dealing with? Still conformity. No, let's go rules this time. Pick a party theme. I'll stick with poker. We'll take that. Right, if everyone could just scrub the last attempt at that. I'm Jim Halpert. I enjoy joking around and pushing people's buttons, but that doesn't mean I'm not serious about my goals. Even though I tend to want to escape my problems, I always end up pushing through. And I'm happier for it in the end. Yeah. Yeah, that. I'm taking that. Oh, I'm miles behind again, sorry. I have redeemed myself. I have. I couldn't live for myself. I've got Ryan. He's the biggest screw up ever. Ian says, "Hi Graham, I purchased food and a towel from you last week. The food arrived, but not the towel. Does this come from your supplier on a separate order?" It does. So the towels, any of the printed merch, what's the word I'm looking for? Embroidered merch, which the towel is made to order, and it can take a couple of weeks. So yeah, the food gets sent out. In fact, I'm going to start with an apology because I didn't notice your order until you reminded me about it, so I'm sorry. But yeah, the food comes from me. I keep a stock of it here, but everything else is printed to order. Not getting to it now. I couldn't watch The Office. It was cringe. I work with those people. I think that's the whole thing. Oh, I could have been a Daryl. I'd have been happy with Daryl. Right, where are we going? Who'd be Kevin? I know a few Kevins. So, the actor who plays Kevin, Brian Baumgartner, he's done a load of podcasts and stuff. Not recently, it's probably like a year ago, where he gave loads of insights into like the behind the scenes of it and all that kind of stuff. And there was loads of storylines that were set up but never followed through with them. So if you're into The Office, search up Brian Baumgartner and go and watch some of his podcast interviews and stuff. Because he plays Kevin, but he's not as thick as big shit as Kevin is. And there's some funny stuff there if you like The Office. D'Angelo Vickers. I knew a D'Angelo. So we once had. This isn't going to make any sense to anyone, right? Okay. So D'Angelo Vickers was someone who came in, played by Will Ferrell, so you might know that, but he came in and he took over from Michael Scott, who was like the main character for a whole bunch of seasons. When Michael Scott left, D'Angelo Vickers came in, and everyone thought, oh, well, it's Will Ferrell, he'll be the new guy for a long time. Spoiler alert, he wasn't. It was a very short-lived thing. But he came in and he was playing the... Just go and watch it. You have to watch it. But basically he came in and his whole thing was he had a big personality and he would do things like... So the thing that sticks in my head was he came in, he was taking over someone, and he used to do... I can't remember what it was, but it was like competitive mime juggling or something like that, where he would... And only because I've seen this is funny, but he would come in and he would mime juggling, and he had an act set to music where he would like throw in tension, like and almost drop things and stuff like that. And everyone's kind of sat watching him going, what the... We had a CEO come in once who took over from a long-term CEO, and he was... I'm trying to remember his name. But he was someone who had worked at... He was the CEO of Disneyland Paris or something like that at one point, and he came into our company to take over, and every conversation you ever had with him was, do you know once I was the CEO of Disneyland Paris? And you're like, okay, how's that relevant to I was in the queue before you were, get out of the way? But he would always come out with these things, and he would do like mimes and stuff. So it just reminded me of him, so maybe that's just something that stuck with me specifically more than anyone else. But whether you were like next to him in the stalls in the toilet, he would tell you he was the CEO of Disneyland Paris, or if he was doing a speech on a stage in front of thousands of people, that would be the first thing that he would say. It was always very funny, very funny. Right, I'm sorry, I have to skip through thousands of things. Oh, Murder Jewel sees me as a Robert California. I don't think I could carry that off. So he was another one that came in who was an enigma. I like the fact that he was an enigma. But didn't he have a different name in the end? It turns out he wasn't Robert California. Speaking of Office Space type things, so Office Space is a very different beast. Check out Loudermilk. I did see that turn up on my Netflix recommendations, but I haven't watched it yet, I must admit. When The Office was on live, I read an article that said if you couldn't identify Michael in your organisation, it was probably you. Yeah. I couldn't tell if Robert California was a genius or a nut. Yeah, I mean, again, that's the beauty of The Office. It is, I could pick out 6 Michaels. I can pick out 3 Robert Californias. I can pick out 10 Kevins. There's some Darryls. There's some Jims. There's some Dwights. I think that's the success of it. And I think Ricky Gervais has talked about this as well, was working in offices as temps. It was like trying to boil down all those characters so as you could give something relatable to the viewer to say, I work with a guy like that, or yeah, I've got a woman that sits behind me that's a bit like that. And that's just kind of how it works. And why it's so relatable. Lebo, hi from the USA. Hello yourself. Right, I've skipped over 100 comments. This is amazing. Never usually have this many people here to listen to me rant about The Office. Aquarium. There was a tie. I had to leave before the end of the quiz last week. There was a tiebreaker last week, and I lost. Oh, because I wasn't there. That's not fair. Evans, super pumped this week. I've got a shipment of 8 discus from Finn's in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. They're gorgeous in quarantine now. Well, Evan, get yourself over to my Discord server and show us some pictures of them. That sounds like the perfect shipment. 8, that's a good number. Someone looking for a demotion. Oh, the Superfan extended episodes. I've seen a few of them because a lot of the... Not a lot. There's like 4 or 5 episodes that have been pulled if you just watch it on Netflix. So, welcome to the Office podcast. And you can only see them in Superfan version these days, I think. Unless you downloaded them previously. But I think even the ones where they were trying to do a spin-off, where it was Dwight's Farm was going to be the spin-off, I think. And they've cut them out of them recently, I noticed. Murder Doodle, I agree. Who's using apple cider vinegar as a condiment? Surely that's like an ingredient in something else. Malt vinegar is the only vinegar-based condiment, surely. People use vinegar on fried... Yeah, actual vinegar, not apple cider vinegar. Did I miss the quiz? I'm afraid you did. The quiz is now on at 9:30, which is like 50 minutes ago. Nope. An hour and 10 minutes ago. No, 50 minutes ago was right. How's the Discus breeding project going? It's still going, technically. I have 1 fry from my last batch. It's getting to a decent size now. Maybe that's too big. It's past the point of all the usual failure points. But there's only 1 of them. But I think I'm going to put the breeding pair back in here to just give them a break from being in the... So they're currently in that tank and have been for a few weeks now, so it's just a little bit small. I want to give them a bit of a break and put them back in the display so they get a bit of space to bomb about and be a bit happier again, and then we might try again. I'm a big Discus guy. I would love to show you mine, but I don't know how Discord as a Gen Xer, and I refuse to learn. All you have to do is, one of my mods might hopefully be putting that... That's hard for me to do. Putting that link in the description. No, link in the chat or the description. There will be a link in the description. You click it and just keep saying yes until you're in, and then just go, "Hello, I'm M. Lebo," and someone will direct you to what to do. I've been in a room where the Office was on. It's fine. It's also the dumbest. I have not watched it, sat down ever going, yep, I need to watch that. So this is where I think you have to take my 4 episode rule, because any 1 episode of The Office taken out of context doesn't make sense. It just looks like, why would anyone be interested? This is that stupid person talking to that stupid person talking to that inept person talking to that ridiculous person. But if you give it 4 episodes in a row, especially in the earlier seasons, it's all about building the characters to the point where you understand where the characters are coming from a little bit, and how those interactions then become comedy gold. You just have to give it a little bit. 1 fry, yep, just 1 singular fry. So we did get about 12. I lost about half of them to the... There was a bit of a drop off at like 8 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever it is, and then the rest of them started to drop off one by one, but 1 powered through. Boots and cats, quite right. The more you get to know the characters, the better it gets, and that's it. It's the investment in the characters, and that's why I think it makes sense, because anyone who has ever worked in an office recognises something in most of those characters to say, that's Gene in accounts, or that's Dave in operations. So you immediately, automatically buy in a little bit, and then once you get to know those characters, and yes, you're invested. Agree, Boots. I agree, very much agree. Jim's fun. The story with Jim and Pam is great. It's also the dumbest show with a lot of loud people throwing tantrums. It's not. You need to give it a little bit of time, and you'll come around. You know how you keep telling me about that stupid show that I've tried to watch several times, which is rubbish? I'll give that another go if you give The Office a proper go. Did he do a personality? Yeah, I did the whole... No one tell him. I did the BuzzFeed which character from The Office are you, and it turns out I'm Jim. Without any question. Went straight to Jim. No. It doesn't say I'm a mix between Ryan and Jim. It says I am Jim. Anyway, let's move on. Because if I was going to be Ryan... I don't want to be Ryan. Ryan's like the most pathetic character. The thing I enjoy about Ryan's character is that apparently he wrote most of Ryan's stuff, and it's just so sad. The fact that he has got me. The fact that the most pathetic character is written by the man who plays him. Yeah. Travellers, yeah, that's rubbish. I tried. But I'll try again if you give The Office a go. And I think that's the thing, is if you imagine The Office has... Let me get rid of the ridiculous face. The Office... The writing team on The Office is often the characters. So, Kayla Kapoor, Mindy Kaling's one of the writers. Ryan, he's one of the writers. They're all involved in this process. So, often... the B stories, or the behind the scenes stories, are the ones that are actually the funniest, and that kind of goes through it all the way. How the Congo Tetras doing with the discus? They're doing fine. They've been in with the discus for years, even when they were upstairs in the old tank. They're a very good addition. I like the fact they're a little bit bigger. They're in no danger of the discus picking them off, whereas when I had the cardinals and the neons and things like that, the little ones get picked off by the discus at night time. Yeah, these are pretty good. Do you like the American Office more than the British? I'm surprised there. I probably do, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I like them in different ways for different things. So when the first couple episodes of the American Office were trying to ape the British Office, I really didn't like that, and it didn't work. But when they found their feet and did their own thing, yeah, it was fantastic, and better, I would even say. Lily Loft, nice to see you. My voice went all funny there for a minute. How are your Black Corridoras doing? I hope you don't mind me. Yeah, they're doing good. They're in about there in that tank. I keep seeing eggs, but I don't see any fry making it. So, but they seem to be okay. They're nice and big and fat and healthy. I'm thinking of. So here's a scoop. Drum roll, please. Pressed the wrong button. I've made some plans, which I'm not going to follow through on, even though I am. So I've got 2 sets of 6-foot long racks there, and they all have smaller tanks on them. I'm thinking of getting rid of them and having another big tank. So while it might be a mega tank, 10, 12 feet long, but only 2 feet deep and 2 feet deep. So 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep. And having it as a kind of the ultimate small fish big tank. So 1,000 tetras, 500 corridorus of different species, some rainbow fish, some other things, and just seeing if it's interesting to me if I could give multiple species that live in similar water parameters but don't usually go together in a tank. If I give them 12 feet of tank, will they divide that up between themselves, or will they all just mix throughout that 12 feet? Who knows? So, this is only in here at the moment, but rather than having my racking system here, I just have one. I think I can fit 14, so maybe one 12 to 14 feet long tank, which it would be another DIY tank, so I'd build it myself. Using the 5-foot tanks, the glass from them, I'd break that down so I'd have a 5-foot window, wood, another 5-foot window, wood, something like that. So the two sides and the base would be the glass for that. 12 to 14 feet there, and then hand building the stand above that to then have the tanks on the top row being all the smaller tanks and the grow out tanks and the quarantine tanks and all that kind of stuff. Not that you can see any of those things, but I'm now hovering my mouse above it on the screen that you can't see, but basically there. So one big humongous tank full of small fish. So I've got mega tank for the mega fish, and then I've got, it's technically going to be more mega tank, who knows, whatever, we'll need to come up with a name for it. A big tank there but with small fish, and then all my other requirements fulfilled by that one. And then opposite mega tank, I've still got the grow out tanks for the smaller fish that I want to grow on. That's what I'm thinking. Juggler, did you choose a topic for next? I think we went for brand logos, and then when he wins next week, the one after that is Greek mythology. So if you want to do some actual studying up, that's what to do. I would have thought the Congos would eat the food before the discus have a chance to get to it. It really doesn't. No, it doesn't happen like that. I shall try and show you. They might not feed now because it's not the normal time. But so far, when I come up to the glass and I say I'm about to feed you, normally the discus come first. Congo's not interested, not so much. And the Congos will they'll hover around, but they'll let the discus feed, and then they'll take the leftovers. Works pretty well. Mine's an issue with the fourth wall. Shows that break it and talk to the camera are really hit and miss. So that's where the office is probably your easy in there, because it's not technically breaking the fourth wall because it's meant to be a documentary, so there's no pretending there isn't a camera there and it's all behind the scenes. They are meant to be there. I liked Modern Family, but I couldn't ever get into the office. So I say that doesn't make sense, because Modern Family is almost exactly the same, where they were meant to be being filmed, but it wasn't ever as open as that. So the scenes when they sat down on the couch and they said, oh yeah, this has happened, that's happened, that made sense. But when they were in the cars and stuff like that, or where they were in, you're like, why are you talking to the camera there? There's not meant to be a camera there. Or why? With any TV shows, I think there's a little bit you just have to kind of give in to it. He chose Greek mythology. Well, no, Greek mythology was second, I'm pretty sure. There you go. Brand logos, exactly. By getting rid, you mean completely getting rid of it or using it elsewhere? If fully getting rid, I may be interested in them. Probably fully getting rid, because I don't think I've got anywhere else I need to use them. So I'm still considering all this. But yeah, if you want to call first dibs, you're welcome to them. To Welsh mythology. That might be a bit tough. Are there stirby in the display? There are some stirby. Again, only about half the stirby I've actually got. Stirby have been breeding like crazy for me. If you're following me on my Discord, I found a stirby in my goldfish tank upstairs, which hasn't been heated for 5 months. And I found a little stirby cory in there, like, hey, watch me bomb about. A mini mega tanks would, well, if I get the breeding project off the ground, then maybe that tank will become a discus tank. JT, hi and bye. I've got to go to sleep because I have work tomorrow. But nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. The new tank of the long boy, yes. Have you seen New Girl? It's very similar to The Office. I have seen New Girl. I wouldn't say it was similar to The Office. I didn't mind New Girl, it was fine, but I have watched The Office 4 or 5 times. I've watched New Girl once. Yes, if you decide to get rid of them, I'll take them. You can ping me on Discord. I'll do you a deal. You buy me some wood, because that's what I need to build this. You can have my steel. What about Ugly Betty? Nah, never really watched that, so who knows? Although, is that the one with America Ferreira, or whatever her name is? America Ferreira, that is. I did watch, is it Superstore, I want to say? With her in it, that was quite good. I love how the last couple of episodes of this podcast, our dry grant, have all become what Graham likes to watch on TV and film. They look quite big, the stirby. How old are they? Well, they're all kind of different ages. I wonder if the GoPro's working, so you might be able to see them. No, it's not. Some of them, all different ages, so I've had a big massive colony for years and years and years, and they've been breeding for years and years, so there's all kinds of stuff. Have you seen Arrested Development? Yes, another of my favourites. In fact, can I show you? This is what I've been getting into recently. Alright. So this is my home server with, let's get rid of anything incriminating. So this is what my family watches. Of the things I've watched recently that I've really, really enjoyed have been Banshee. That's quite an old TV show, but I only found it maybe 6 months ago, a year ago. It's got the guy who plays Homelander as the main character in that, but that's really good. Barry, about a serial killer who wants to become an actor. That's really good. The Bear, which is about the chef, it's fine. I've just not really been able to get into it. Better Off Ted, I thought that would be good. It was fine. Boba Fett, fine. The Boys, fine. Fine. I'm in the way of that one. This is one that I thought was really good. Breakout Kings. Again, it's a few years old. I thought that deserved a few more series. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, one of my favourites. Burn Notice, one of my favourites. Again, that shouldn't have got cancelled. That was just so easy to watch when you didn't have to think about anything. Any others of note? Mr. In-Betweener. That's off a film. That's pretty good. There's obviously The Office that I've watched several times now. I've been getting into these ones. Have you ever watched the Power Universe? So there's Ghost, Raising Kanan, Force, all different ones in there. They're, again, for when you need to write a document and don't really need to watch what's going on, they're good for having on in the background. Really, really, really enjoyed Ted Lasso. I thought that was great writing and a great show. Taskmaster, one of my favourites. Tulsa King, that was alright as well. I'm enjoying Welcome to Wrexham, I must admit. But anyway, there's some of the ones that I'm watching at the moment. How much space have I got left on that? So I've recently upgraded my server, so I've got 10 terabytes free on that, 5 free on that, a couple free on that, 8 terabytes free there, 2. So I've got plenty to fill up, so if you get any suggestions of shows that I should watch, let me know. Yeah, as long as your show suggestion isn't Travellers, because that's rubbish. What is the whale one on the bottom left? That is Steve Backshall. Have you heard of him? It was like a documentary series that was filmed in super 4K, and my dad wanted to watch it, so when he was down before Christmas, he said, "Oh, I've seen this really good whale documentary," so I downloaded it so he could watch it. It's good. It's good. Everything he loves, I despised. I'll give you some of my hates. We're a weird family here, so I have the things that I like and I enjoy, and they fall into 2 or 3 categories. There's the brain dead stuff where I just want something on while I'm doing something else, something that you can like kind of, what's happening? All right, okay, and then concentrate and do your other thing. I want the things that engross me, where I'm like, oh, this is. I have to watch another one. The binge-worthy stuff, where it's like, oh, that's amazing. The stuff that I think is hilarious, whether that's The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever, where I put them on while I'm cooking a dinner or whatever, where I'm like, haha, I'm in a good mood. That's good. My wife is almost exclusively into Korean drama now. So if it doesn't have subtitles and they aren't Koreans screaming at each other, she's not interested. So we now have our own rooms where we go and watch TV, things like that. I'm trying to find things that are... So, most recently, Banshee, I really liked that because it was something that followed along a form, but broke all the rules while it was doing it, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of a way to describe this. If you've never seen the programme, it probably doesn't make sense, but it's a guy who... Oh, I almost can't remember if he escapes from prison, or I think he gets out of prison, lands up in a bar to have lunch. A new sheriff in town turns up and gets into a bar fight and dies. And he assumes his identity, so he becomes the new sheriff. But because he's a hardened criminal, any criminals he comes in contact with, he just batters them and does things that a new sheriff wouldn't do. So that's the whole dynamic of it. But it's really cleverly done how they do that, and that's the kind of stuff that I love. I'm like, did not expect that to happen. Some of them are stupid, some of them are boring, or some of them are the odd episode that doesn't make sense or doesn't fit. But the fact that they're taking a normal narrative and changing it a little bit, I'm like, right, I like that on the most. Fishbank says, when you say home server, what exactly do you mean? Like, how are you watching these shows? An app? Forgive my lack of technical knowledge. Maybe join the Discord server so I could tell you, because I'm probably not allowed to tell you, but I use something called Plex as my media server, so it is like Netflix for your own media. So on my telly or on my computer or on my phone or whatever, I will load up the Plex app and then watch the apps that I've got on my server. And the ones that I've got on my server are things that I've definitely bought legally and ripped to my server. Yeah, Plex. There you go. What you were looking at there. I'm trying to think how to describe this without incriminating myself. If I was to give you topics to Google sonar, radar. Sonar and radar. SONARR and RADARR. Guide. And that'll... Basically, I have an app that says, I want to watch The Office. So I'll type in The Office and it'll go away, find out where The Office is. Like HMV, buy them all for me and rip them to my server. Sons of Anarchy, yeah, definitely like the Sons of Anarchy. I like the Sons of Anarchy enough to buy some Sons of Anarchy merch. That's probably one of the most perfect TV shows, Sons of Anarchy. Mal's calling me a Ryan. I can't believe it. K-dramas. Oh yeah, she's big into the K-dramas. In fact, what was the one I was watching today? Dr. Slump, I think it was called. But the interesting thing about the Korean dramas is a lot of them become Western dramas afterwards. So there's one Amazon Prime or Netflix recently about a doctor who's autistic and goes around like upsetting people because he's autistic, but fixing things because he's a superpower and all that kind of stuff. That was a Korean one. And the reason, my wife will say this all the time, the reason she likes the Korean dramas is they all have 2 seasons, 3 at the most, and then they finish. Whereas any American drama has 12 seasons with 25 episodes each season. You're like, oh, for God's sake, stop dragging it out, just finish. You're allowed to end. Whereas the Korean ones will be like, yeah, this is the storyline, it's done, move on. Whereas the American ones, and the best example of that is Prison Break. Have you ever seen Prison Break? First 2 seasons of Prison Break were, oh, this is brilliant, yeah. Well thought out, makes sense. Really good character development, really good storyline. Season 3 through 500. What, aliens? What? When? No, who? What, you're all CIA now? What? Oh, God. Nonsense. Sons of Anarchy is great. I've yet to watch the spin-off series The Mines. I tried with The Mines, but it was a bit too Netflixy for me, where it didn't make sense. And my wife's hooked on Asian romances on Netflix. Yeah, as is mine. Oh, the girlfriend and I are currently watching Supernatural. That's another one that I've dipped in and out of. I quite like Supernatural, but I haven't really devoted the time to watch it properly. It's really good. The Affair and Billions. I've not watched either of those, I don't think. Sister Wives. I've not seen that one. I've just had an option to translate your life. The Good Doctor. Yeah, that's one. That's the one. Yeah, which made me think of The Good Wife, which is very different. But The Good Doctor is the American version of the Korean, which the name of which I cannot remember. Breaking Bad was way too long. Someone's on drugs. We're moving on to the Franny Cranny. I need to change my ISO settings, definitely. This is fish related. I've got my fish bottle opener. This is going to have to be my last one for the evening, because tomorrow I have an early start. I am taking my daughter to the European Karate Championships, which are being held in Sheffield at 8:45 in the morning. So Breaking Bad was Breaking Bad was one I struggled with. I watched the first episode of Breaking Bad 4-5 times. Thought, no, I don't get it. I'm not into it. And this is why I bang on about my 4-episode rule. Because I persevered and got to the 4 episodes, and by the time I'd done that, before I knew it, I was on Series 3, Episode 7, like, oh, how did that happen? Because it was fantastic. And I just would not have got there if I'd only watched the first episode and then just gave up. Perfect analogy with Prison Pot being mental, yeah. See, Dexter was another one. It's another prison breaky one for me, where it was like, oh, this is new and interesting. Then 3 years later, bet he's going to kill that guy. Oh yeah, he did. I bet he's going to do it in an interesting way. Oh yeah, he did. Bro. Nothing ever happens in the Western shows because they need all the characters for the next episode and season. You're right. So, if any of this... So, we've not talked about fish for a long time, but if any of this, how does TV work? Who develops shows? How do they sell them? If any of that is any interest to you, there is... Let me just find the name of it. In the UK, everyone will know this. There's a guy called Richard Osmond. Where we all think that he is... Why can I not find the fucking channel now? So there's a game show called Pointless, where there's a guy who sat behind the computer asking the questions, and his name is Richard Osmond. And everyone was like, oh, who's this geeky guy? But it turns out he's actually a TV producer and has been for a hell of a long time. And he develops and sells and creates shows, and he just happened to... That was the one that he decided to be in front of the camera on. But he does a podcast with Marina something or other. It's called The Rest is Entertainment. Let me just pause that so I don't get copyright struck. So it's this. Oh God. Now I'm in the way. Jeez. But basically, he is responsible for pretty much anything that makes it onto TV in Britain these days, or why things work and why they don't work. And this is a podcast where she's a writer and he's a commissioner and developer. They talk about why TV shows are made and what works, why it lasts, why Taskmaster is good, why you don't get things like sketch shows anymore, any of that kind of stuff. It's brilliant. So I would definitely recommend going and watching that. They talk about why it's really cheap to make some programs and why game shows are so prolific everywhere and why we don't have sitcoms as much nowadays and what makes things work, what doesn't make. So it's just, you're like, oh, so the last 10 shows I liked were because you decided I would like them rather than because I liked them myself. Oh. Ooh. Did you ever reach out to Sheffield Made Plants? A dream team collab right there. I didn't reach out to him, but I did subscribe to him and I've watched a couple of his videos. The Last Kingdom? Don't know that one. Right. Mandy says, hear me out. After 4 episodes of forced compliance, are you not basically brainwashing yourself into some sort of television-based Stockholm syndrome? I can see where you're going with that, but there have been a few where I've done my 4-episode rule and still not liked it. But that's where I feel guilt-free. So I've given it my 4-episode rule. It's still shit. I can walk away and no guilt, guilt-free. You've had your chance. That's it. I think if you're going for it where you think after 4 episodes of any show it'll still be worth it, that's why I gave Travellers. They got my 4-show treatment. Still rubbish. So maybe there's the odd show that needs 6 shows before you make a decision. Travellers might be one of them. But I love the C dramas, not too long, but longer than the K dramas, so you get more of a backstory and character development. Don't suggest that. I don't need more subtitles in my life. As a Yankee Gen Xer, I saw a British TV comedy show that I liked. Are You Being Served? Oh, there's a blast from the past. Yeah, that's like 60s and 70s. Aquatic Moose likes the fish dramas like Father Fish and DIY. Well, assuming that, or maybe I've read that into it. The Wire. Yep, Wire's fantastic. And again, not one I was on board with until I got into the 4-episode thing. And then, to be fair, one I went off when they started getting into like the later seasons of that, where I was like, oh, is it about drugs? Is it about the docks? Is it about this? Oh, why? Where are we going with this? And then when it all came back together again, I was like, brilliant. Good Place, yes, I like The Good Place. Again, that's one of my, this is fun. I like this. I don't need everything to be amazing for it to capture my attention. I really like Ghosts, for instance. Have you seen that? Apparently there's an American version of it. I've just started watching the American version. And again, the American version, I was like, this is shit compared to the British version. Until 4 episodes in, surprisingly enough. And it's brilliant. Travellers requires the entire first season, so I need the finale for it to make sense. How many episodes is it? 12 episodes. Right, tell you what, I'll do you a solid and show you how this works at the same time. So basically, no, I'll do it the easy way. So I have an app on my phone called Sonar, I can type in here. Badly. Travellers. Search for travellers. It'll go away and search for it. Oh, we've got Travellers 2015 or Travellers 2016. Two teenagers find a time machine and begin to use it to manipulate every second of their lives and unexpectedly set themselves a path of crime and violence. It's not that one, is it? Hundreds of years from now, surviving humans discover how to send consciousness back through time into... Yep, so it's that one. So it was rubbish. And then I just basically click that button. And it will now go and find any places that I can get it from and add it to my library, so when I go upstairs later on, they'll all be there waiting for me to watch. Are you planning to do the long boy with liquid rubber? Yes, I think so. I think my biggest problem with Mega Tank was not enough bracing and too deep. So I think if I keep it under, so trying to go, because I always say, well, this is my Mega Tank, it's 8 foot by 4 foot by 3 feet. It's actually 8 foot by 4 foot by 3.5 feet. And literally dropping it 6 inches has just made such a difference. So I think by going for the length doesn't really matter in terms of pressure. It's all about the height. So keeping it under 2 foot tall, or keeping it at 2 foot tall, I think we should be okay. Ghosts is amazing. Didn't rely on potty mouth for laughs either. I thought it was very clever. I did. Yeah, and there's a little bit of potty mouth, a little bit of tongue in cheek. For instance, well, maybe that's just the American one. I can't remember what they did in the first one. But in Ghosts, the premise is, if you die within this area and you become a ghost, then you're bound by the area. And if whatever's keeping you in that area as a ghost, rather than going to heaven or to hell, if you can resolve that, then eventually you go off. And the whole premise is that the main character for that can see the ghosts and helps them so as they can go off. They keep calling it getting sucked off. And they're all like, oh no, you can't say that. And they're like, why? Because they're like ghosts from medieval times. Because what happens is you literally get sucked off when you go off. So a little bit potty mouth, tongue in cheek, but yeah, very good. I do enjoy that. I did 2 seasons of Travellers based on your say-so, so I passed on any more. This is what I'm worried about. Oh. If you don't watch the finale and go, alright, I'm in, then just ignore it. Yeah, what's good for one doesn't necessarily have to be good for... That's why I always say about... A really big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I can understand why some people hate it, because it is like pun after joke after pun after joke, but some of them are really good. If you're going to do a thing, you may as well do it well. It's my thing. The show about Daryl hunting snakes in the Everglades. That one, you mean? Yep, got that one. There you go, Travellers has started downloading already. the US Coast started by it last night, and one of them got socked off. Exactly. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. It's a good one. Right. Oh, I can't believe I've gone over time. Goldwater Aquatics is probably streaming right now. Thank you very much for indulging me in all my what TV show is good and what one isn't chat. If you like this kind of thing, I talk about fishy stuff occasionally in my long form videos. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you in the next one because I've gone over time. Goodbye!